Welcome, everyone, to Chapter 8 of the Nine Trials. When we last left off, Lord Sassafras presented a sausage and directed it to go to the Coyotes with whom he has a treaty, and the group, as representatives of the cat community, to engage in an exchange of information. Before they could reach the Coyotes, however, Anthony led the group astray and into the clutches of Queen Victoria. The group managed to escape with Sausage intact, but left Anthony to his fate. My name is Anne, and I will be your storyteller.
My name is Dustin, and I will be playing Jitters.
My name is Frances, and I am playing Princess Snowball.
My name is Kay, and I will be playing Kirsch.
You're running down the hill along the street, away from Queen Victoria and the fancy houses. The hair on the back of your neck and tail stands up on end as you hear the cry of an animal in distress, as you realize the begging shriek has come from somewhere behind you.
Okay, so we are still, am I still in technically like a deadbolt?
Yes, you are running down the hill. You have the sausage in your mouth.
Excellent. My plan from the start of this great endeavor of ours is to pretty much run straight back to Lord Sassafras.
All right. Does everyone follow?
Yeah.
Run in, run in, run. Sorry.
So yeah, unless I am interrupted or someone stops me or something, distracts me, my goal is to head straight back to the stump.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing to stop you or distract you except the desperate screams from behind you.
I'm not gonna look back. I'm actually just gonna keep on going.
You run down the street, make it out of the fancy neighborhood, and you're along the walkway towards the park.
Keep going. Let's keep running.
I keep going. I keep going back to I try to go all the way back to Lord Sassafras.
You make it into the clearing. You bust into the clearing. Panting cats bust in behind you, one right after the other from the entire group. Dirt Cat's the last one. He's still running a little bit slow with his poor leg. And a surprised Lord Sassafras spins around. My friends, why are you back? He looks at the sausage and sees it on the ground in front of you. You still have the sausage, and he looks behind you, waiting for someone else to bust through the clearing. And he says, where is Anthony?
He led us into a trap.
I beg your pardon.
You're not the only one Anthony's working for, it appears.
He jumps off the log and comes up closer to Princess Snowball. And who is he working for?
Are you familiar with a Queen Victoria?
Oh, Victoria. He very clearly leaves the queen off her name.
Disrespectful.
He sighs heavily. I am familiar with this cat.
So, so with this change of events, we weren't able to deliver your peace offering.
Frankly, I think exposing a spy within your own personal ranks is a much bigger completed task than delivering the sausage anyway.
Exposing someone who has not been fully truthful with us is a very important thing that we have discovered. Isn't that right, Snowball?
Who? But yes, it is. But who?
So, Lord Sassafras, it appears that some of your helpers, so to speak, are less than trustworthy, and I am starting to doubt some of the trustworthiness of other people around me. So, we are in a little bit of a dilemma.
As you're having this conversation, you all begin to feel the eyes from the park on you. This is sort of a familiar feeling at this point. Whatever is happening right here is beginning to gather an audience.
I kind of look around and I turn to Lord Sassafras and kind of in a lower voice, perhaps this is a conversation better had in private rather than on display for the whole neighborhood to see.
We have no secrets here in the cat community.
And do you want to talk about
Fine.
the spy?
You're closest. I say fine, and I'm like very purposely raising my voice loud for everyone to hear me now. Then I'll be happy to report that your judgment, Lord Sassafras, is clearly flawed, as your own right-hand man has been obviously betraying you for who knows how long.
You're talking to him about judgments? You're talking about someone who did not tell us about this person that you have clearly met before? And
Yes,
you just let us hang
I have no
in the
loyalty
balance?
to Lord Sassafras, and I'm also not in charge of this community, so maybe you should be
And
looking
yet
at your leadership.
you decided to keep this from us. Obviously, you knew about what that I can't even
And what good
talk
that
right.
information have done you? I
Does
didn't
that
follow
mean
through
you're
with
on
any
her
plans. I
side?
didn't do anything for her just because I didn't tell you of her existence.
So that
Or
does
her
mean you're on her
plans.
side.
Yes, she
I'm
wanted
sorry.
me to sabotage Lord Sassafras, and she was very upset with me when I got there because I had done absolutely no follow through with that plan. So
Why didn't you
excuse
follow
me for
through?
not telling you every detail of my life because I didn't want to.
But you're on her side.
Sir, I'm not on her side. Why would I
But
be
you just
telling Lord Sassafras all this if I was on her side?
whose side
She
are
thought
you
I was.
on?
She wanted me to be on. I'm on my side, and I thought we were working together. So I would like to be on all of our sides.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So,
Well, fine. I'm just telling you, Lord Sassafras, that your judgment is flawed, and your right-hand man is not loyal to you, so maybe that information is useful, and to me, I think that is worthy of a completed task, because we just did way more for you right there than delivering this sausage is worth. You're welcome.
As you're speaking, you see the tiny little cream-colored cat, Jacques, kind of appear out of nowhere. He's so tiny. And sit next to Lord Sassafras. And he says, as he clears his throat. Lord Sassafras looks down at him approvingly and looks back up and says, "My friends, did you think this was unknown to me? I have been working already on replacing the traitor. Here is my new right paw."
Can I roll instinct to see if he's lying?
Sure.
My instinct is 60 and I rolled a 45.
He is not lying. He was definitely intending to replace Anthony with Jacques.
so then if this is your new right-hand man, why did you send Anthony with us?
Because I knew you were brave, and I knew you were smart, and I knew you could handle him.
So did we complete the task?
Are you making a case for, and you can feel the whole clearing taking a deep breath, tuna?
I am.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh,
You set us up knowing that the original task wasn't to be completed, but hoping that we would do something else on your to-do list for you instead, which we did do. By your own admittance, that's
what's
what was
happening?
happening. For your own admission, that's what was happening.
Friends, I am surprised to see you return. I am surprised that you did not go directly to the Coyotes, with whom we have a treaty. I am happy to see you. I am happy to see you well. But continue making your case for that being your task and your tuna reward.
Well,
I am not
you had a
standing.
problem, and now you no longer have that problem because of the actions that we took.
tell us, briefly, if you can, how it went down.
You're going to have to ask someone else about that because Frances's memory isn't the best, and she forgets a lot of details in
So,
between
first
beats.
of all, I'm going to say that Snowball does not support all of
Who?
us. Does not speak for all of us.
Who?
So, what we are going to say is that we were following Anthony to where we assumed was the meeting place for the Coyotes and led us into um, somewhat of an ambush that he led us into Victoria's house. And then from there, I just got a really bad sense. And with me, Snuffles and Kirsch decided to grab the sausage and leave before anything unseemly happened to the sausage. It looked like we were one step away from Victoria taking a bite out of it.
Oh, yes, my friends, that would have been disastrous.
And then after we had figured out that Anthony had led us astray, we immediately came back here to one inform you, and also there's something I actually wish before we continue doing anything else for the trials. I want to know. I've heard of your great stories, Lord Sassafras, about winning the trials. How many others have successfully completed the trials? Just out of pure curiosity.
Over the many, many years, there have been many cats who have completed these tasks. My friends, as of right now, I am the lone standing member.
How are you the only wait, how are you the lone I'm starting to think of something because we're still getting eyes on us, right?
Yes, as you speak,
So
more and more. I'm sorry, I'm holding it together. More and more eyes are upon you. This is the most exciting thing that has happened in the neighborhood since, well, Dirt Cat and Jade didn't complete their task. This is,
I'm sorry. So
yeah.
we're doing all of this for the respect of the cat community, all of whom have also not completed these tasks, so that we can sit next to you, your pretentiousness.
Sorry. I'm good. I'm so good. This is so good. Um, oh God, if you guys could see my face. Actually, it's probably a good thing you can't see my face. Um, Lord Sassafras says he gets very serious and he stands sort of between all of you. And he says, the times in this neighborhood for cats is dire, my friends. And I was hoping to rebuild our status with all of you.
Is it dire because of outside situations like these coyotes? Or is it dire because we have a quote unquote leader like you who is tearing this community apart with this pretentious mouse shit?
I have been working so hard, my friends, to rebuild this neighborhood. I thought perhaps you, and he's motioning to everyone, could see my vision. We have the survivors of the outdoors, the outdoor cats. And he references Jitters and Snuffles and Dirt Cat. And we have here the house, indoor, outdoor cat who has experience with the humans. And then here, and he walks up to Princess Snowball, we have the epitome of the glamour cat. You represent all the facets of our community. My hope, my fervent hope, was to be able to rebuild this neighborhood with your leadership and guidance, friends.
Are we
Can I roll
friends?
instinct on this? That seemed a very pulpit kind of vibe
Go ahead.
to me. Okay, so that'd be instinct?
Yeah.
I rolled I have 70 and I rolled a 54.
Okay. He's about halfway full of shit.
Um, Princess Snowball is not buying this one tiny bit because she already fell for Victoria's dumb spiel, and she's not going to fall for the pretty much exact same speech again. I mean, like, there's different, I guess, prizes that he's offering, but like, he's not really offering them. So, I'm I'm gonna like kind of motion to Jacques, just be like, so what has he done to rope you into this shtick?
I excuse me?
You heard me. If you also haven't completed the trials, why are you here?
I I'm here to assist Lord Sassafras
Why?
because he is, you see his little tiny wheels starting to spin because he is Lord Sassafras.
Hmm.
But why? And at this point, I'm just kind of doing that thing that like kids do, where they just keep asking why. But like, I feel like this has good purpose, so I'm going to keep doing it. Why?
I um because I
Because he made up these trials that he supposedly is the only one who completed. I just want to point out of character real quick that this is a cat pyramid scheme that we are doing. It is a cat pyramid scheme that could very easily get us killed. So anyway,
Sounds about right.
back to
at that point Dirt Cat does step up and he says, I I don't think he's like the only one ever. There has been, as far as I know, in the past. I mean, I've heard that there's been an actual like cat council. It's just
It's just
been
that
a
this fool
while.
has taken
What
charge himself and
happened
made sure that the
to the
trials are always too ridiculously hard for his power to be matched so that he can have sole control over the entire neighborhood. Like,
Dirt
look, I've
Cat?
been here for a couple weeks and I've already put it together. Come on, guys.
Dirt Cat. What
Yeah.
happened? What happened to the other council members? Or at least what do you know? And I'm assuming Lord Sassafras is still relatively close.
Yes, yes. The clearing isn't large. It would be, more of a stage whisper if you tried to side conversation with someone.
It's not. I'm kind of making a point to deliberately ask Dirt Cat because
Mm,
he's actually contributed more actual facts with
mm.
that weren't very flowery and bombastic. That I'm like, okay, I'm now turning my focus to Dirt Cat and go, what other facts can I get from him? That's kind of what I'm
Okay.
going for. What happened? So, and I that's kind of the vibe that I want to give off of me deliberately turning to Dirt Cat and go, and what happened to the council?
The kinds of things that happen to cats,
Hmm.
cars, dogs, coy- coyotes.
All right, Lord
And ever since
Sassafras.
that happened, it's just conveniently been that nobody else could ever pass the trials.
At this point, Lord Sassafras steps up onto the log and he says, "Friends, nothing about this has been convenient. This has been very, very hard. Being able to find new leaders of the community in a time like this, my
I'd
friends,
like to
the
know.
weight is very heavy."
I'd like to know how long has it been? How many trials have there been since you where nobody has passed?
Since my friend here, Dirt Cat, lost his beloved Jade.
Well, how long ago was that?
Dirt Cat sighs. That was that was the wrong voice. That was last year this season last time.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I
Still
want to
sounds
know
like a
what
cat
happened to the
conspiracy
other
to me.
members. So hold on. How long have the trials been going on with just Lord Sassafrash at the helm? I mean, I'm kind of curious on what. I mean, is it possible that the council members did not just have a accidental death? That the accidents might have been a little bit more planned than they seemed? And
He
I'm
jumps
starting
back
to.
off the log and he, in his biggest stance, comes up to you and he says, "My friend, I don't know if I appreciate your tone."
Not technically by you. I'm saying, true, you are a person of interest, but
Cat of interest.
Victoria could have very have easily started to knock off competition, so to speak. Coyotes, I don't know how. I mean, coyotes are I've encountered can be rather clever and just accidentally have some cat members of the council knocked off. True, I am not. I don't know enough not to say that you did it, but I also don't know enough to say that you didn't do it. So I am suspicious now of everyone.
I want to start walking around the perimeter
Mm-hmm.
because their eyes are all, as you've said, all around
Mm-hmm.
us. Are there
Mm-hmm.
cats all around? Like, or all
It's
kinds of
mostly
creatures?
cats. There are some other animals. Roll. Are you trying to hear them, see them, feel them?
I guess just see them. Or smell
Senses,
them,
please.
I suppose. I mean, yeah, it's all the same. Um, my senses is 55, and I rolled a 49.
There are a lot of cats, more than you anticipated there being in the neighborhood. Again, this is a big happening. There are also other animals. You
Oh,
definitely see, now that you're familiar with the movement of the squirrel secret network in the trees, you see some movement in the treetops. There are definitely some birds around, like more birds than you're kind of used to seeing in the clearing. And as you look behind you just a little bit, you see 3 rats holding little statue poses.
hmm.
Who else would
I want to.
benefit from the cat council being weakened? And I kind of gesture that to Lord Sassafras.
He takes a step back from you. This is my friend. An excellent question. He begins to pace back and forth in front of the entire group, making a little bit of a show of it. He's definitely strutting his best strut. These are interesting questions you bring. I suspected Anthony of being duplicitous. I wonder.
He also said that well, it's more along the lines of he insinuated that he would also have trouble with a certain mafia group. Did you know of his in dealings with the raccoon mafia?
Oh, my poor friend, Anthony. He has been let go by the raccoon mafia. Yes, they are known to us. It one doesn't just, as you say, leave. I took pity upon him and gave him a purpose. I fear. Wait, the raccoon mafia. What
Yes.
what did happen to Anthony?
Well, I didn't get a good look, but after leading us to Victoria, and we made our run for it, he was trying to stop us. And he said, they'll kill me. And I was in fight or flight. mode, so I was running, and at that moment I didn't quite understand that he would actually die. I thought he'd just get in big trouble. But then we heard screams.
Mm.
Completely forgot about that,
And
like, genuine
the
misunderstanding. Oh my god.
and also we had a run-in with the raccoon mafia as well.
Mm. I'm afraid that perhaps we have seen the last of poor hapless Anthony.
Why
Sounds
would the
like
raccoon mafia want to kill him?
The same
Simply
reason that anyone in power would do such a thing to keep their secrets and their interests safe. He failed them once, and he really wasn't safe. He was, as I say, under our protection.
interesting. Well,
I still am scanning all the cats that are watching,
Hmm.
and I want to see if there. I don't know if there's like a way to tell, but like any cats that seem like a little excited by what's going on, like they're almost like they're like happy to kind of see like Lord Sassafras being questioned. Like I don't know how I would describe that body language,
say
but
that they enjoy seeing him sweat.
yeah, like I want to see if
Hmm.
there are any cat. I don't know.
Roll your senses.
Okay. I got a 17. Give me the goods.
All right, let's find out. Oh, God. Yeah, okay. I was like, I'll give it a 50-50 chance, and I got a 50. So, okay.
Come on, Anne.
You see out of the corner of your eye two older looking cats. They look well kept, but they definitely seem to be of age. Their whiskers definitely have some white to them. And you've seen that look before. In fact, you've done it recently where you just kind of sat and ate the popcorn and enjoyed the show. The two of them are doing the same thing.
Great. I want to walk up to these cats. Just gonna leave everyone else behind. Like I'm gonna try to like kind of casually sneak off, so not like do the slow walk back as everyone else is kind of questioning Lord Sassafras.
While she's doing that, Kirsch wants to ask, Lord Sassafras, how do you know Queen Victoria? Was she part of the council at once?
Queen Victoria has not been part of our cat community. She is an outlier. She has decided to live, as you've seen, by her own rules.
That's not a yeah. So she's never been a part of the cat society.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Hmm. Do you know if she ever wanted to be a part of cat society?
Oh, that is an interesting question, friend. She does seem to act out of, oh, such an ugly word, jealousy.
Hmm. Okay, so in other words, she wanted the cat society to be her cat society. Okay.
It is my impression that Victoria has a outlook on life that centers around herself.
Listen, I understand the irony of Princess Snowball snorting at that, but I also understand the irony of Lord Sassafras saying it. So there's just a lot of irony going on. Let's all
Well,
appreciate it.
there's two different ways to act. I have two different images of Lord Sassafras in my head right now that I'm kind
Mhm.
of like, okay, is he the lone survivor trying to rebuild? or is he the opportunist that planned everything, kind of a thing? So I'm not sure which way to go quite yet. Um,
Can
so,
I?
Lord Sassafras, seeing how we have appeared, obviously hit a hurdle, so to speak, um, how about you help us with this next endeavor? I think in a situation like this, having a council meeting with the Coyotes with the person who is actually in charge may reveal a lot more than us going alone. And I also think we should bring an honor guard, so to speak, with us. We have
And
plenty of people here.
who specifically do you have in mind to be this guard of honor?
The people you trust most.
Well, my friends, they are standing right in front of me.
Well, then, we can escort you to the Coyotes for a council, and we will even bring the sausage, but you do need to lead the
Okay,
way.
so now we're just doing the very dangerous task that we were trying to avoid again.
I'm trying to get him to come with us.
Hmm. As you speak to him and you're proffering this alternative mode of operation here, Lord Sassafras senses all of the eyes on him, and as you are saying this to him, his whiskers are just getting tighter and tighter as you pretty much call him out in front of everyone. You're backing him into a corner. Um,
While this is happening, can I go
uh-huh.
talk to those other cats?
You can approach them. Use your like to read my own rules. I don't have that sheet in front of me. Pounce.
Okay,
You're
what am
trying
I
to be
trying?
stealthy, right?
I guess, yeah, yeah, a little. I got a 69. Nice, but it does not pass.
They see you approaching them and they kind of give
That's
you, both of
fine.
them give you a look like, good luck with that. And they take off.
Wow. I wasn't trying to be
Mhm.
stealthy coming towards them. I was just trying to get the group not to notice that I was leaving.
Either way,
Okay.
they're out. You did get a good look at them. If you saw them again,
Okay.
you would recognize them. Lord Sassafras, knowing that he is now backed into a corner, says, "Well, before we leave, then, friends," and he kind of directs that very strong friend. It's almost a hiss a little bit towards Jitters. "Perhaps we should indeed indulge in that tuna." He looks down to Kirsch and says, "Young Kirsch, would you please give Jacques a hand with the log?"
I wrinkle my nose, but I do it. So I go to the log and put my front paws on it and push.
Jacques goes to the other side and pushes as well. The two tiniest cats in the clearing manage to push the log back enough to reveal several pouches of tuna.
So does this
Excellent.
count as a task completed then?
Is there not tuna?
Just checking.
Um, Jacques starts to pull with his little tiny teeth, pull pouches of tuna out from underneath the log.
I
Excellent.
help pull them out, but I'm not looking very enthused about it.
The two of you manage to pull out the exact number that you need. Um, My friends, please partake.
Um, I'm sorry. The way you said that made the hairs on the back of my neck prickle. Um, can I first roll to see if there was malice intent behind the please partake of this wine. I'll give you some wine that happens to be poisoned with something, and then also smell the tuna to double check on that.
Roll your instinct.
Okay, instinct. Okay, I have a 70 and I rolled a 72 in instinct. But that
Oof.
doesn't mean I'm not going to still try and smell that tuna to make sure it is not laced with something.
His intentions have seemed so mixed the entire time. It's very difficult to kind of follow what it is he's trying to get to at this point. If you'd like to sniff the pouch of tuna, please roll your senses.
I would like to do so. Oh, phew. That came really close. I have a 62 in senses and I rolled a 55.
Yeah, it smells legit. It smells like all
Okay.
the other pouches you've had.
Okay, I will eat it.
Snuffles comes over near Kirsch and helps her with her pouch, and he starts to eat some tuna once he sees Jitters, kind of look like he's okay with it. Princess Snowball, there's a pouch in front of you. Dirt Cat also eats a pouch of tuna very slowly. He's very aware of all of the eyes, and it's making him very uncomfortable. Lord Sassafras just sort of sits there, sort of pleased with himself, and kind of glancing around from the side of his eyes that everyone is seeing that he has rewarded you with your tuna.
So, as I'm eating, I want to really casually ask. So, Lord Sassafras, I really think that we could use some inspiration for the tasks ahead. Why don't you tell us about the tasks that you had to complete so heroically to get to where you are now?
My friend, I would be glad to. You're now speaking his language. He jumps back onto the log, which is now kind of teetering a little bit because it's on the side of the opening. I shall regale you with the tales of how I created the treaty between ourselves and the Coyotes. And again, this
Can
kind
I
of,
kind of
yeah.
gesture? Oh, can you tell us on the way there?
No,
I'm trying
His
to
shoulders fall just a little bit, like he was ready, and he just
I
kind
know.
of,
I wanted to deflate him just a little bit to be
you
like, you get to still tell
succeeded.
your story, but I'm gonna take away your amphitheater of audience members
Mm.
to where you only get us as your audience.
It would be my absolute pleasure. He jumps back down and walks past Kirsch and kind of gives her a little flick of his tail and continues to move on. Snuffles, the back of his neck perks just a little bit. He's not into that exchange.
Oh, okay. Then I might have. Was he like flirting with Kirsch?
You can roll your instinct.
I would like to.
I'm sorry,
Okay,
who
cool.
did what now?
Okay, so Lord
It was
Sassafras did like a little tail whip, and at first I thought it was
ugh.
insultive or a little bit, but with the way that Snuffles reacted, I thought it might have been more flirtatious. And I have a 70 and I wrote a 31.
I don't like any of this.
He's eyeing young Kirsch.
Ugh. I'm sorry, Lord Sassafras's?
It appears so. Well, Jitters has noticed this. If Princess Snowball
Ew.
would like to notice this,
Yeah, I'd like to notice this.
she may attempt to do so.
I got a 23.
You've seen this behavior before,
What?
most recently from Queen Victoria. Kirsch, roll your instinct.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry, what's the age gap here?
I mean, it's cats, so.
Well, I did not
Like,
get
you're
it because
so
I got
win.
a
A
99.
baby.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't get it.
Oh no, Kirsch is so
young Kirsch, with wide, innocent eyes, wonders, I wonder why he did that. Your naivete, he finds it so charming.
I want to kind of step in front of Kirsch and just give him like a look.
Yes, my friend. Was your tuna not acceptable?
The tuna was great. Maybe you could just focus on leading the pack. Thanks.
I am ready when you are ready. Let us begin this adventure.
And
But I
I
give him a
grab the
nice
sausage
good
and
look.
I'm
Like
going to start.
he knows that I saw what he and I don't approve. I kind of gave him a like, you're gonna have to get through me type of look. Cause
Roll your
look,
instinct.
Snowball isn't particularly loyal to these cats, but she also like Kirsch is like probably the one she's closest to. Like they've been chilling.
Princess Snowball, roll your instinct real quick.
I got an 8. I know.
Because you have seen this world, you see the cloud go over his eyes as you confront him ever so briefly, and the two of you have a silent exchange of understanding.
Good.
My friends, I see you are ready. Jitters, you will. I can't say anything about the sausage without laughing at myself.
Well, oh no, I grabbed the sausage.
You grabbed the sausage. Great.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent, my friends. Are we all ready?
As ready as we can be.
I've been
Before
ready.
we leave the clearing, everyone take a look at your character sheet and add your tuna points where you would like.
Cuckoo.
I'm going to do that for them. And let me know when your tuna has been applied.
I'm good.
All done.
And Princess Snowball.
Oh, I added them to my pounce because I have a feeling we're going to run soon.
All right. I am excited to be doing this with you, my friends. Let us parlay with those coyotes. And he runs off actually in the direction you guys just came.
Oh. Okay. Well, does he run? Is he actually like running, or is he kind of like more of a trot?
It's a dignified, fur waving, showy trot.
Okay.
Kirsch is
So I'm gonna.
dejectedly following. She's still not interested in this whole coyote plan, but she's doing it kind of because everybody else is.
Jacques hops up on the log, and as you disappear out of the clearing, you hear a teeny tiny little voice. Good luck. Good luck. And it's
Hey guys, do you want? Would you guys like Jacques to come with us as well? And I'm kind of like I'm addressing like the group, not really including because Lord Sassafras is ahead of us.
I don't really
I
think
kind of like
Jacques
turn to.
wants to come with us.
He's so tiny. He's tinier than I am.
he is. He's like half the size of Kirsch.
Frankly, we're not well equipped to be doing this job, but he certainly is less equipped than us.
Yeah.
All right. And I kind of, as he says goodbye, I kind of look over my shoulder and I'm like, "Hold down the fort, Jacques."
He looks so excited. Oh yes, sir.
Hey, you have him calling you Lord Jacques now. You hear me?
And his eyes get really big and wide as you guys trot off into the distance. You just made that teeny tiny little cream colored cat's day. Lord Sassafras leads you almost exactly back up the same street that you just came down and into the fancy neighborhood.
Is he telling us his story as he does?
You've let him go a little bit ahead of you because you've had that exchange about Jacques. So you can try and catch up with him if you like.
I want to
Yeah,
hear his
catch up.
story.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, see, yes, I knew that you were the right ones for this job. Look at you keeping pace.
Hmm.
So the tasks that you completed. You were going to tell us about your heroics.
Ah, yes, the difficult challenge of creating the treaty with the coyotes.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be so happy to see you then.
How many seasons ago was it?
It was several seasons ago. The tragedies among the cat community were indeed consuming members of the council. They desperately needed to form a treaty with these coyotes, and of course, they turned to me. I was able to create an understanding with them about how cats are not necessarily food.
Oh, well then that's so great that you were able to do that, if we're having problems again, need to go give them the sausage and re-up this treaty. We brought just the right cat to talk to them. Since you've already done it once before, it won't be a problem. I'll be very excited to see the famous Lord Sassafras do his work.
It has been quite a while since I have spoken in person to the lead bitch, but I am happy to see her.
I wrinkle my nose and I'm like, from when we met her, she didn't seem like she didn't not want to eat cats.
Oh, my friends, I believe you have met a different coyote.
Well, let's find out. You're leading the
Let's.
way.
He continues to lead the way, and he actually takes you past some of the fancy houses to where there is a trail, and the trail goes up into a small hillside. He takes you up
Oh,
into the small hillside, and uh, Princess Snowball, you've been in the backyard a little bit more of Queen Victoria's house than everyone else has. You notice that there was a hill behind her house. So you're getting a sense that this is probably where you guys are headed.
okay.
The trail changes, the the scenery changes. It's not sort of the lush trees and grass of the park. It gets to be a little bit more rocky and dusty, and there are some native plants here and there, and it seems like there's a trail that's fairly well trodden. Maybe the humans take this path up onto the hill for sometimes they do it for fun. It's kind of weird. And he takes you along this path. There is an outcropping of rocks that he takes you by. Before you get too close to it, he turns to everyone. My friends, stay close, if you please.
Oh,
And I'm gonna
absolutely. I want
try
to
to
watch
like
the magic
quickly kind of like
happen.
organize everyone together so it kind of looks a little bit more what is it called? Like Lord Sassafras is of course the center focus, but to kind of
Mm,
have us kind of like what is that called? Like a half moon circle
Mm.
behind him kind of a thing. So it looks like we're kind of like in a formation
Mm-hmm.
to make us look a little bit more, hopefully look a little bit more intimidating and professional, because my heart's probably starting to go a little nuts because I know we're starting to get closer to coyotes.
Mm.
In fact, on that note, please everyone roll your instinct.
Whew! Yes. I have a 70 and I wrote a 25.
I rolled a 13.
Ooh, you guys are
Oh,
prepared.
I got a
Oh no.
44 out of 42.
Oh, it's so close.
Yeah, that's obnoxiously close.
You catch that there is a wind and that there's a smell on it, but you're not quite sure what it is. The rest of the group, including Snuffles, who gets then a little closer to Kirsch, you definitely smell coyote on the wind. You are in the right place. The scent
Can
is
I
fairly heavy and it's kind of coming from all around you. This entire area This is Coyote territory.
Mm.
I'm gonna kind of look over at what is it called? Look at Snuffles and kind of be like, hey, keep an eye on Kirsch, and if we have to bolt, you know what to do.
I hear you, man. Broomsticks, man. I hear you.
Got it.
Lord Sassafras comes up into a clearing that has um, some bushes with very small leaves and some tiny purple desert flowers. It almost itself is kind of making a little circle. You can tell that maybe this is a meeting place. This looks very well kept. This area, and it does. It stinks like coyote.
Okay.
Except for Kier, she smells beautiful purple flowers. They kind of smell good. Um, Lord
Can I?
Sassafras, yes, go ahead.
I was gonna say, before we get to any place that we actually stop, if we keep on walking, can I kind of get close up to like shoulder to shoulder with Lord Sassafras and kind of be
Hmm.
like, hey, just in case, we should also be prepared to get out of here real fast.
He raises an eyebrow at you, and he leans in back to you in sort of the conspiratorial way in which you've approached him. Back down the way we came is the fastest way out of here.
What other ways might be not as fast, but still a way out?
I suppose if you wanted to continue down this human made path, you could cross back across the top of the hilltops and into some of the backyards.
Hmm. Okay. Because something that I did just realize, even though my trust of many people has dropped, I don't know if I'm a little paranoid that we're walking into another trap. I think everything ends up being a trap, which is why I'm still alive.
You are wise to be wary, my friend. But never fear, this treaty is quite strong.
Hmm. Okay.
How's
Of
everybody else
course,
feeling about it?
Sorry?
How's everybody else feeling about it?
Oh, I am absolutely terrified. This is obviously a terrible idea, but I'm kind of eager to see what Lord Sassafras is going to say.
Kirsch is just very uncomfortable with a lot of this. She still wants to go home.
Hmm. Also, good instincts. Um, you are in this outcropping of rocks. Lord Sassafras, now with Snuffles, not Snuffles, I knew who I'm talking about, Jitters, standing kind of off his shoulder. You see from, it's almost cave like. You didn't see the shadow, but now that the coyote is coming out of it, you realize that this coyote was hiding in the shadow. And you hear, who goes there? Lord
hmm.
Sassafras speaks up and he says, "It is I, Lord Sassafras, and as stated by our treaty, I have brought us an offering." And he kind of nudges Jitters, like, now with the sausage, now.
And the realization that Jitters is now having to probably walk forward a little bit and is all of a sudden like, oh shit, why did I pick up the sausage? And he's like, so he's gonna walk just a little bit ahead of Lord Sassafras, probably still enough to where he could, like, if he stretched out his tail straight backwards, he would
Hmm.
still like be able to touch him, kind of
Okay.
thing. And he like reaches and elongates himself as much as he can to kind of like drop the sausage, and then quickly goes and like not no I'm not he's not going to quickly do it. He's going to like really try to keep his poise and walk back.
As you begin to walk back, the coyote from the shadow jumps out, one leap right in front of the sausage. He's a little closer to you than you would like, you can feel his coyote breath on you. He sniffs at the sausage. Acceptable. And as he begins to take a step back, another coyote from the other side, out of another shadow that you did not see, jumps a large, and I'm talking large, female coyote who pounces right in front of the sausage. She sniffs it real quick and then looks up at Lord Sassafras. She's still kind of hunched down, very close to that sausage. She and gives a nip at the first coyote that came out, and he backs up a little bit. And she says, Lord Sassafras, it's so good to see you. And she's sniffing. She's got two eyes on him, but she's got her snout on that sausage.
I would like to try to to keep my as much dignity as I can, um, to properly walk back to my place, but I am one step away from peeing myself.
Good times, good times. As you begin to step back, she actually comes up a little bit and her ears go back and her eyes dart back and forth between Lord Sassafras and Jitters. And her eyes kind of land on Jitters for a moment and she completely takes him in as if just momentarily she was confused.
Well, as soon as as soon as she not locks eyes, focuses on Jitters, I'm like I freeze.
So Jitters is now frozen. Are you trying to take a step back behind Lord Sassafras?
Yeah, my goal was to kind of go back to my proper position and have Lord Sassafras still be kind of front and center because he's technically the leader.
Technically. All right. So the first person that gives me a name, I need a name.
A name for. Well, now I want to know what
coyote?
name.
Or
A name for the very large female coyote standing in front of these cats. Her
Barbara.
name is Barbara.
really?
If you don't like it, you don't take it. That's just what popped into my head, and I spoke my heart.
Her name is Barbara. Sure.
Don't be a hater, Kay.
Lord Sassafras, with as much dignity as he can muster, although it's fairly well practiced, he says, Barbara, my favorite bitch. It has been a long time since I've seen you. She takes another sniff at the sausage and she says, you have gone through a lot of trouble. Yes, a lot of trouble to bring this to me. What is it you want? Lord Sassafras says, we hear that there may be an unsanctioned coyote in these parts. She kind of looks sideways at him, putting one paw on the sausage like she's going to pull it towards herself, like she doesn't quite trust that he's not going to try and take it back away from her. She says, so? Well, my friends here have encountered this coyote, and we do believe that her movement in our community is perhaps a violation of our treaty. Would you not agree? She looks down, puts one paw fully on the sausage, and says, so? Perhaps you would like to hear the story from them themselves. Friends, could you please explain to Barbara what has happened?
Jitters has probably he's cat got his tongue.
Lord Sassafras turns over his shoulder and looks at Jitters and he says, friend, Now would be a good
Oh,
time.
I kind of nudge him.
of course.
You push him forward.
Yeah, well, just
Wow.
slightly.
I give her the dirtiest look.
Just tell him.
Okay, fine. Um, apparently there is a unsanctioned coyote living underneath the bridge. In our last encounter, she had mentioned that she has 3 puppies, and she might also um, be in league with another faction.
When you mention the puppies, her ears go flat up against her head. This is not news she wants to hear.
So I believe that not only does she pose a threat to our cat community, but if soon she will have um, a pack of her own, she may pose a threat to any other coyote packs in this area.
She steps back. We are the only coyote pack in this area.
Not for long if she sticks around.
But you don't, you don't recognize her?
We have smelled her on the wind. We have heard their cries. But this hill is ours.
Oh, so that means if she was down by the bridge, that is out of your territory or still close to it to be, how can I say that, threatening.
She takes a little sniff at the sausage that's now in her paw, and she snarls up and reveals a long, sharp, well used canine. And she bites into the sausage in a way that makes all the cats shiver just a little bit. As
Mm,
she speaks, tiny little bits of sausage are falling out of her mouth. She says, a case could be made for us to handle it.
ah, well, that is very excellent that a case could be made.
I want to kind of turn towards Lord Sassafras and go, well,
And he looks back at you like silently, yeah?
that is
this
true.
is
I
where you
mean,
shine. You're the one who was bragging about how amazing you were at the treaty. This is your time to shine. Let's see what you're made of. Let's see why the Lord Sassafras is so great.
He whispers to you, definitely trying to keep out of the earshot of the coyote. He says, my dear, one of the things you need to learn about coyotes is that you need to allow them to talk. You do not interrupt a coyote when her mouth is full.
Hmm.
It's a
Well,
very warning glance, like, I know what I'm doing.
okay. Well, then let's see him do it.
She continues to chomp and tear at this unfortunate sausage. Again, bits of it are sort of falling around. She's licking her chops, kind of now all in her whiskers. She's taking her time and thoroughly enjoying this in front of all of you in the most graphic way possible.
Love that. Beautiful.
All the while, though, her eyes are darting back and forth between Lord Sassafras and Jitters. She's looking. Anybody who would like to know what her eyes are doing can roll their instinct if they like.
I would.
43. I passed with
I
a 43.
Ooh,
Oh, I am so petrified with fear at the moment that I do not get what that look meant.
I need to stop getting things that are so close. I got
Oh
a
god.
47 out of 42.
It's like
Hmm.
Kirsch is just like learning, right? Like a little closer every time. Um Princess Snowball, you had a success, correct?
I sure did.
This you've kind of noticed it before and it's already been alluded to. This clean jitters. Like from a distance, if you squinted and had bad coyote vision, if he kept his mouth shut, could pass, maybe, like with the sun behind him, for Lord Sassafras.
Hmm.
Hmm.
She finishes the sausage and she kind of takes a deep, satisfied breath. And Lord Sassafras turns and shoots Princess Snowball a look like, and now, because he's allowed her to eat her sausage. Barbara, I believe that if you could see your way to help us with this intrusion on everyone's territory and on our peaceful treaty, there could be more sausage. Her ears perk up. Lord Sassafras speaks sense, she says. Under the bridge, you say?
Yes, yes. Under the bridge. And also, one thing to keep your eyes and ears open for and to be aware of, she might not be here alone. She might have an alliance with some other faction in this town. So be careful before you pounce, so to speak.
And how do you come by this information?
Um, I have asked some eyes and ears that have been observing her from a distance, little eyes and ears, and they say that she has knowledge of things that someone new to this area shouldn't have.
Her ears go flat. Again, she doesn't like this news at all either. She's slowly thinking. And this coyote and her whelps. You have seen it yourself under the bridge?
I start to turn to actually, no, just our eyes and ears. We have met the coyote, and she has mentioned her whelps, but we have not seen it for ourselves. We have heard it from our eyes and ears.
How do you know it's the bridge?
She
I
she
trust.
said she
I
said
trust the information. Go
the
ahead. I'm sorry.
food. She said she was gonna go back to her puppies there.
Hmm. And her thinking turns into a low growl. I think with some more treaty negotiation. And she looks down at the place where the sausage was and is no longer. We could take care of this for you. Oh, yes, yes, very good. Of course, you know, my dear Barbara, there is definitely more sausage where that came from. And should we find that there are no invading coyotes, that this female coyote and her whelps have been taken care of, there will definitely be a healthy reward of sausage. And he leans forward a little bit after There is a tense moment between the two. She shifts her weight and she says, "They will be gone by the next moon." And she jumps back and disappears into the shadows. You are now alone.
Can I sense how alone we are? Like other coyotes? Like have they actually like gone out of sight and out of smell and out of hearing?
Roll your senses or instinct, depending on how you're trying to assess it.
Either one works. I rolled a 2.
Oh, great. Cool. This place reeks of coyote. Like every rock in this alcove has been peed on. Things have been eaten here. Other things cats don't want to think about that coyotes might do have happened here.
Oh no.
You are definitely in a coyote area. You smell from the wind and the direction of the wind. You can smell Barbara. You can smell a couple of other distinct smells, but this place is pretty much just coyote smell. But there are several.
Okay. Um, as I'm gonna start kind of like gesturing to everyone, but keeping a very wary eye around us. To like, okay, let's get out of here. We have been dismissed.
Yeah, yeah.
Lord Sassafras, with as much regalness as you've seen, he turns around and starts to walk slowly and purposefully back down the path. He's definitely making a show of not fleeing.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to mimic it.
Okay, cool. Everyone roll your pelts.
Pounce.
How cool do we look coming out of here?
Oh, I tripped and fell
Cool.
on
I
my
got an
face.
8.
Wait, did Princess Snowball and Jitters both get an 8?
Oops.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I
I
got
said
an
I
8.
tripped on my face because I got a 97.
Oof. And Kirch.
I had to re-roll because my dice flew out of my dice box, but I got a 35 out of 75.
Excellent. So as we know, Kirsch is actually a pretty good mimic. She's new, but she's observant and manages to sort of match the walk of Lord Sassafras in front of her. Snuffles keeps pace with Kirsch. Poor Dirt Cat, he's still in the back of the group, looking a little nervous, but he's trying to hide the fact that he has a bum leg. It's not super effective, but he's trying to hide it. I'm sorry again, Jitters. What was your role?
8.
You
So
are
I have
side by side with Lord Sassafras, matching him movement for movement. And again, anybody behind the group, if they took a close enough look, would be like, "Huh, yeah, huh, that's interesting." Princess Snowball, your tail is fluffed in like I stuck my paw in a light socket kind of way.
No.
Eyes are wide and your whiskers are twitching and you are kind of in the middle of the group like, yeah, don't eat me, please don't eat me.
That's fine. They can know I'm scared.
um.
Okay.
So as we're starting to head out of coyote territory, I want to
Mm-hmm.
wait until we are actually maybe a few minutes out of
Mm-hmm.
coyote territory and start kind of not whispering, but very hushly, um, like talk to Lord Sassafras, and I say, "So this is less of a treaty and more of a protection racket."
You, as you guys are walking down the path, you come off the path and onto the main street. And once you do that, you begin to actually see Lord Sassafras's body relax a little bit, giving you the indication that perhaps you are, in a safer area. You're out of earshot. And you do say this to him, and he turns to you and says, "My good man, there is always a fine line between those two."
I know, but I think I found out which side of that line this deal is more on. But that's not criticism. I mean, if you're the only one left of the council and you had a choice between paying and suffering the coyote's wrath, so to speak, I probably would have made the same choice.
My friend, that doesn't sound like a criticism. It does, in fact, sound like judgment. Do not judge. My friend, it is an exchange of goods and an exchange of information across territories. We learned just as much from that exchange as they learned from us. And he picks up his pace and he's clearly heading back the way you guys came towards the clearing.
Huh. I trot up with him.
Everyone else keeping pace?
Yep.
I'm a little bit behind. I just kind of want to watch for a bit. This has all been. There's been a lot going on, and she just needs to process.
That was a lot. Snuffles keeps pace with you and he looks over to you and he sees the look on your face and he says, dude, I mean, you cool? Is it, I mean, you all right?
I mean, at least I get to go home to my humans, right?
Yeah, your, your humans, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, we're doing this thing, right? um, but I mean, after do you think, maybe, your humans, I mean, you're talking about your humans, of course, do you think, they might, I mean, if it's okay with you, man, like totally. Do you think they might? And he kind of looks at you, and he's got these large cat eyes, and you notice his little cat eyelashes for the first time, and he says, "You think they'd let us stay?"
I think so.
I'm sorry. Who's talking? Like which?
That was Snuffles to Kirsch.
Okay.
I think so. I think they seemed really happy when we all came back. And I just want to keep coming back home.
I mean, it's your house though. Like dude, it's totally up to you. Like if you want us to bug out, man, like
No, no,
you can.
I think you should come. I just and she kind of looks down at the ground as she's walking and she's like, "If being a cat means I don't get to be their baby anymore though, I don't know."
But I don't understand.
Like we got away okay this time, but what if it doesn't go well next time? And they were so scared when I didn't come home last time.
You mean like being like part of the council and all this stuff that's going on? Like you mean like that?
No, I mean more like coyote food.
I mean, every kitten, man, it's got to become a cat. And he kind of looks away, embarrassed a little bit, and then he says, "And you're you're a cat."
I don't know if I still want to be a cat, if that means I get to lose them.
Uh, what else would we be?
I don't know yet. And she just keeps walking.
Confused, he keeps pace next to you and participates in your thoughtful silence. You arrive to the clearing. There are definitely watchers in the clearing. As you guys enter the space, you feel the energy. Everyone wants to know what happened at the Coyote Parlay.
Huh.
You enter, you clearly
Sassafras better tell them then.
you
Actually,
enter.
I'm going to go up to Lord
Mhm,
Sassafras,
mhm.
and I go, maybe it's not a good idea to let everyone know about the conversation that we had, or at least the finer details of the conversation, because we don't know who we can trust. If we say that the coyotes are going, what the coyotes said they would do is what they would do, that might give the other coyote a chance to escape.
He
So, and
nods.
I say that very whisperingly. I don't want anyone else to hear that.
He nods as you speak. He takes it all in, and he says, "For someone who was wary and not part of the cat community, I find your assessment of politics very, very useful."
Thank you.
He didn't necessarily mean it as a compliment. He's kind of calling you out. I'll be
Well,
real.
Oh, as in like he was being Oh, so he meant
He's
it
not being
sarcastically?
sarcastic. He's pointing out to you the fact that this was something that you were kind of railing against like an hour ago, and now you're all, "Hey, this is a conspiracy, and I'm in." Like,
Well,
an hour ago you were yelling at him for not telling you everything, and now you're like, "Hey guys, let's not tell everybody everything."
hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know these other cats. And obviously there is, it's kind of like one of those things of your personality, your opinion on certain things change as soon as you find out there might be a spy, kind of a thing.
Yes.
That
Yes,
it
indeed.
changes your entire demeanor.
It is difficult to know whom to trust. But we must give the people something, shouldn't we? And he jumps up on the log and makes a very big show of saying, "Our coyote parlay has been a success." And he looks out as if proud of all of you for having come with him and done your job. All eyes are on you.
On me?
So,
Oh, on the group.
Oh.
are we getting more tuna?
I think for the first time, Kirsch is actually kind of uncomfortable with all the eyes. I don't think
Okay.
it's ever bothered her before until this time.
She's beginning to notice. And it is unnerving. Uh, oh, okay. Lord Sassafras says, "I think, my friends, we do in fact deserve more than just tuna." He goes up to one of the trees and he climbs up it, not like up it, but his front paws, his back feet are still on the ground, and his front paw, he taps out kind of a rhythmic tap um, on the tree trunk. And you see again what is now sort of familiar to you, the squirrel secrets rustling in the trees, and then you hear the rustling go away and you hear it come back, and suddenly you see squirrels dragging food containers. It's not suddenly, he pauses dramatically for a moment. You see squirrels dragging food containers into the clearing, and they pop them open and they give a and disappear. There are now, let's see, there's 5 of you, so we'll say there's 4 foam containers.
So as the food starts to come out, I definitely perk up a little bit.
Mhm.
And can I go over to one of the containers and start to sniff it?
Sure. Roll your senses.
Yay. Nuts. I have a 62. I wrote a 76.
Kind of smells like squirrel though, because they were carrying it. Anybody else?
So, what are we rolling for?
To sniff the food containers if you like,
Oh,
or
yeah.
maybe
I
open
go
one.
for it.
would like to sniff it.
Instinct,
I
you
got
said?
an,
Or senses?
Senses,
Okay.
please.
I got an 11.
Okay.
Wait. Man, I was so close. I have a 70 in senses, and I got an 80.
So close. Kirsch, the container in front of you smells like all kinds of food. You kind of want to lick it. Um, Princess Snowball, the container in front of you, you are almost positive contains an almond butter sandwich.
Mm,
Like if for all the world smells like that.
great.
Lord Sassafras jumps down from the log. Today, my friends, tonight, my friends, as it is actually now evening, we shall feast. And he takes one of the containers and dumps it out, and you see some other cats kind of come out from behind the trees. And he nods, and they kind of come out, and one by one, cats start to grab little pieces of orange chicken and take off. He comes up to Kirsch, where there is a container in front of her that smells like all the food. Kirsch, what are you doing with the container?
I'm kind of like just pawing at it. I'm not sure if I'm hungry for once, ever.
With a deft flick of his paw, he pops open the container and he says, "My dear, I believe orange chicken was your favorite."
Thank you.
So, as I'm eating it, I want to like say through a mouthful of food. So, do we get the stat boost for this too?
Nice.
I'm
You,
gonna.
you hear from the tops of the trees, "Add 5 to any stat."
Thank you, cat gods.
I'm gonna flick open the box in front of me and start eating.
What would you like it to be?
Oh, I can choose whatever I want.
Sure. The squirrels were
Oh,
watching you very carefully in the food court. Remember, they deal in secrets, so their observation skills are keen.
oh. I'm gonna have it be some what is that called? Mandarin chicken. Seeing how there's orange chicken at there, I'm
Mhm,
assuming that they
mhm.
also have Mandarin chicken and also um, mostly like the beef and broccoli, but more beef than broccoli.
Mm, mhm. You start picking through it and eating it. It is exactly the way you like it, maybe a day old. It's so good. Lukewarm.
Ooh.
It's amazing.
So, if my math is correct, this was the 7th task, right?
Your game master is going to need a minute to do some math, but
Oh, sorry.
yeah, actually, we kind of got through 2 today, correct? We
Yeah,
did.
we ate 2
Yeah.
tunas today.
Oh, dang. Yeah. So you're very full and you're feeling very accomplished.
Ew.
I'm gonna say that Kirsch like grabbed a piece, but then also like kind of went off into a corner to eat. She doesn't really want to be around people right now, like all the other cats right now.
Snuffles respects your distance and kind of keeps an eye out for anyone else disturbing your peace. You all continue to eat. Snuffles comes over and he kind of looks at Jitter's like, "It's cool, man. It's cool. Like I can."
Oh,
He's
like
interested in the
oh
broccoli. If you're interested in the beef,
oh yeah yeah, dude, dig in, dig in.
man, like the old days, man.
Yeah, I haven't had. Today's been a good deal for meals, but I have to admit, carrying around that sausage in my mouth all day, but not being able to eat it, was torturous.
Dude,
It was.
strong, strong man. That was strong.
Oh, geez. And also, it was. Do you know? Do you remember that sausage that they had on? Oh, it was the day that it was like around the time when all the fireworks go off, and or all the big boom booms
Oh
go
man,
off,
those boom
and they
booms,
make
dude.
that the sausage place makes that special sausage.
Yeah.
It was
Jitters,
that.
roll your senses real quick.
Oh my god.
Mm.
I have a 62.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 63. That's painful.
That is so painful. As you go through the description of the sausage that you just gave, you kind of roll your tongue along the roof of your mouth. Was that sausage familiar? As you guys finish up, Lord Sassafras and Jacques, who is there, are eating out of a container that they had. Uh, push the log back over the hole, and it looks like things are starting to wrap up. And he's about to say something grand to you, as he does, and you all kind of gather around now as you do because you know he's about to spout off. He takes a deep breath and is about to deliver his diatribe when a giant raven flies into the clearing. It lands directly in front of Lord Sassafras and drops off a tiny tin hat made out of a can. He flies away.
Do
Oh
I
no.
recognize that as Anthony's
As you
hat?
approach and take a good look at it, it is, in fact, Anthony's tin hat made out of a can.
Oh no.
On the hat is maybe a little bit of what smells like raccoon blood and a little bit of hair. And that is where we will end for tonight. Thank you for listening to Chapter 8 of the 9 Trials, Coyote Parlay, Part 2. If you are enjoying the story, consider supporting the podcast by becoming a Patreon member. You can earn an Inkborn.Studio sticker, get exclusive content, or have an upcoming character named after you. Until next time, friends, beware of Barbara.